Coming up on Newsource at 5, learn how a policy change will help college students save money on attendance. CO Athens plans to commemorate a historic Black neighborhood.
That will be a proud moment for all of us.
And find out where you can catch the latest blockbusters at a new movie theater in Athens. All that and more coming up on Grady Newsource.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening and welcome to Grady Newsource at 5. I'm Madison Cook. Governor Brian Kemp signed Senate Bill 319, which will allow permitless concealed carry in Georgia. However, there are still parts of UGA's campus that are exempt from the law. Grady Newsource reporter Amaro Wariat joins us to talk about what areas allow and don't allow permitless concealed carry.
Hello, Madison. I'm standing here at the Sanford Stadium, which is one of the areas on campus that does not allow concealed carry. I was able to create a visual graphic that shows us which areas on campus allow and don't allow concealed carry, given that the University System of Georgia have regulations on it.
As you can see here, the areas highlighted in green represent parts on campus that don't allow concealed weapons. These areas include buildings and properties that are used for sporting events, student housing facilities, fraternity sorority houses, and faculty staff office buildings. Stadium, Cresswell Hall, Phi Kappa Home, and Terrell Hall. The areas that are highlighted in red represent areas where campus carry is allowed freely. These areas are primarily dining halls, strictly buildings where classes take place without any faculty and staff offices, and recreation centers. Now, the areas highlighted in yellow represent parts of campus that are kind of a mix of both. A lot of these buildings are where classes take place, but they also include areas where faculty offices are, for example, Baldwin Hall. Students who conceal carry should know that within these buildings, they can conceal carry in their classes. However, the faculty and staff offices within those buildings are off limits.
Also, keep in mind that although students can conceal carry in their classrooms, they cannot conceal carry if high school students or students under the age of 18 are in attendance of those classes. Grady Newsource, Amro Warayat. Back to you, Maddie.
Barrow County Law Enforcement is asking anyone who has information regarding the recent death of a 19-year-old to contact the Sheriff's Office or the GBI Athens. This week, the body of a 19-year-old was found with multiple gunshot wounds. He was lying next to the car near City Pond Park, just outside the city limits of Winder. The Barrow County Sheriff's Office just asked for the Georgia Bureau of Investigation to help solve the case. There are no updates on a suspect or motive at this time, and this is an active and ongoing investigation. The Transportation Security Administration will extend the transportation mask requirement for 2 weeks. Passengers on public transportation like planes, buses, or trains must wear a mask. The spread of the Omicron subvariant BA.2 influenced the decision. The mask mandate is now set to expire on May 3rd. In a meeting on Tuesday, the University System of Georgia Board of Regents voted to eliminate the special institutional fee for the next school year. Grady Newsource reporter Taylor Green has more on this fee and how its removal will positively affect University of Georgia students.
The University System of Georgia Board of Regents just voted to eliminate the special institutional fee for the 2022-2023 academic year. In Tuesday's press release, the tuition and fees will remain the same for most institutions in Georgia. Not only is the fee eliminated, but the Board of Regents has decided to keep tuition prices the same for University of Georgia graduate and undergraduate students. University of Georgia President Jerry Moorhead says that affordability is a top priority of the University of Georgia, and we have partnered closely with the University System of Georgia to achieve this important aim. Many UGA students, like Kiari Ridley, have also expressed their gratitude for the elimination of this fee.
As a student that has to finance their own education, I'm very glad that the special institutional fees have been eliminated.
This fee was initiated by the Board of Regents in 2009 in order to maintain outstanding academic programming and operations amid state funding reductions related to the Great Recession. The removal of the special institutional fee will save students $450 a semester, which will make it a more affordable educational experience for students.
Saving up to $500 a semester will help me pay for things such as groceries and gas, or maybe even help me finance my business.
Not only is Ridley a third-year college student, but she is also a small business owner in Athens that has a passion for nails.
I started my own small business doing nails so that I could fund my education.
Students that are responsible for their own tuition have to find different ways to make money. Increases in tuition and other fees can make it difficult for students that are independent in juggling a business and education. Ridley is one of many students, prospective students, and parents that can appreciate prices that will remain the same for the next academic school year. Grady Newsource reporter Taylor Green.
Registration to vote in the May 24th election ends on April 25th. Those who wish to participate in this year's election can register to vote at the Board of Elections office, the Athens Library, the Department of Family and Children Services, or online at Georgia My Voter page. Should you want to mail in your ballot, you can call the Board of Elections office and request a ballot be sent to you in the mail. Elections Assistant Pam Long explains what you should do if you miss advanced voting.
Does like so many advanced voting locations for early voting. If not, then they will need to go to one of their 24 assigned polling locations on May the 24th. And we are in the process of now sending out the new voter registrations card since we've completed our redistricting process from.
Early voting will run for 4 weeks starting May 2nd at the Elections Office from Monday to Friday from 8 to 5 and Saturday from 9 to 5. The Biden administration's latest numbers show inflation rose in the last month. Grady Newsource reporter Matthew Davis tells us how Georgians are trying to deal with increasing prices.
Press Secretary Jen Psaki said on Monday that the White House expects inflation to increase heavily in March due to the U.S. sanctions on Moscow in response to the Ukraine war.
Of course, we know that core inflation, energy, the impact of energy, of course, on oil prices, gas prices, we expect that to continue to reflect what we've seen the increases be over the course of this invasion.
This was confirmed yesterday when the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics released the index that shows that the price of all items went up 1.2% in just the last month and 8.5% over the past year. Consumers here in Northeast Georgia are feeling the pressure of rising prices.
I spent $4 on milk. A case of a 12-pack of soda is now $8 when it used to be $5, like a year ago. So it's quite crazy, and it's just taking a very big impact on my wallet.
However, people at home are facing heavy costs on all items as the CPI says gasoline went up 18.3%, grocery foods went up 1.5%, and airline fares rose 10.7%. Press Secretary Psaki says that these numbers are a reminder to the White House and the entire government that they need to do more to reduce costs for the people in America.
We have, of course, legislation that could do exactly that, cut the cost of child care, of health care, of elder care. These all have enormous impacts on people's budgets.
Biden's administration has been pushing to bring down everyday prices as well as releasing millions of barrels of oil to combat the price of gas to help those consumers in need. With Grady Newsource, this is Matthew Davis.
A new movie theater is coming to the Classic City after one closed during the pandemic. Grady Newsource reporter Brendan Kierner gives us an inside look into the theater before the opening day tomorrow.
There are tons of entertainment options. I think people got used to streaming at home. There's a ton of value in at-home entertainment, but you got to still give people a reason to leave their house.
Paul Farnsworth is the Director of Public Relations for Bills and Bagby Theaters, the fifth largest chain in the United States. B&B Theaters is opening their first location in Georgia tomorrow, which will be located off of Lexington Road on the east side of Athens. Other businesses like AMC have previously operated at the same location, but struggled to stay open due to the pandemic. Over the last year, 61% of Americans have not attended a movie theater, and those who have only watched about 1.4 movies on average during that time span. With streaming services taking business from theaters for years now, equity research analyst Mohammed Reza explains how COVID-19 and further innovation has played a role in the decline.
COVID has completely changed the cinematic world. The majority of movies now coming on straight to streaming services. So I don't think movie theaters are a viable investment. I don't think the average American wants to go to the movie theaters anymore.
On top of multiple regular showrooms, B&B offers different options to make the theater experience more enjoyable. The Screen X room shows movies on a dual-sided 270-degree screen which makes the viewers feel more immersed in a film. B&B also has their lyric room, meant for smaller groups to rent out their own private theater. They also have their screenplay room, where families can arrive 30 minutes prior to a movie to let their kids play on an in-theater playground. Ultimately, Farnsworth believes it's amenities like these that bring people together at the movie theaters.
When everyone's together, I think enjoying something on the big screen, laughing, crying together, it becomes more meaningful.
Brendan Kerner, Grady Newsource.
After the break, learn how you can keep Jackson County beautiful.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers, he connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
The Athens-Clarke County Mayor and Commission have discussed a new mosaic dedicated to a historic Black neighborhood in Athens. Grady Newsource reporter Cole Acock gives us the details and what the future holds.
Brumby Hall, Russell Hall, Cresswell Hall. To University of Georgia students, these are just college dorms. But for other people like Hattie Whitehead, this is the former grounds of Lenintown. Lenintown is an historic Black neighborhood that was destroyed in the 1960s to build UGA buildings and dorms. Whitehead says that the mosaic the mayor and commission are considering funding to honor the destroyed neighborhood will be one of a kind.
If this walk of recognition for Lenintown come into being, it will be the first for Athens, the city of Athens, for a Black community that was erased. I wanted to say that. And that will be a proud moment for all of us.
This Lenintown Walk of Recognition has a planned location at the corner of Baxter Street and Finley Street. Dr. Jennifer Rice, a member of the Athens Justice and Memory Project, says that the mosaic's design will capture the history of Lenintown through a story.
On the left, it captures life in Lenintown. Then you see in the middle, there's a gash, right? So there's this red gash, which symbolizes the destruction of urban renewal. And then as we move to the right, there's sort of more present-day advocacy, recognition.
According to the AJMP, the artwork for this mosaic will be community-led and will have extensive input from descendants. The main pieces of this project will also be pieces of tile and mirror. Cole Acock, Grady Newsource.
Earth Day is coming up next week, and what better way to celebrate than to reduce, reuse, and recycle? Grady Newsource reporter Melissa Garcia tells us how Jackson County is helping us to do just that.
Rain or shine, Keep Jackson County Beautiful is springing into recycling with their event this upcoming week, just in time for Earth Day. The nonprofit promotes environmental awareness and education through litter prevention, waste reduction, and beautification programs. Items such as clean plastic bags, eyeglasses, clothing, and cardboard will be accepted to be recycled.
I think it's important because it helps reach people who might not hear about it otherwise. Because like sometimes it's like an accessibility thing where people may not have like the resources available to learn all the like nitty-gritty details about sustainability.
In recent years, there has been an increased public support for prioritizing policies on the environment and dealing with global climate change. Pew Research reports about a 20% increase of people that are for protecting the environment and dealing with global climate change since 2008. Although sustainability has barriers, like the way corporations influence how society consumes products, poverty, and resource distribution, there are different ways for everyone to be environmentally aware, including fashion, food, and plastic. The Spring into Recycling event will be held on April 23rd from 8 a.m. to noon at the Jackson County Agriculture Facility. Grady Newsource, Melissa Garcia.
Stay tuned to see what the weather will look like throughout the week and heading into the holiday weekend.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time Shiro to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Start saving more for retirement so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
And now, the weather.
Good evening, I'm Ansley Edwards with your Northeast Georgia weather forecast. Today's weather was partly sunny with a high of around 83. Into the night, it will drop to a low of 62, mostly cloudy with a 30% chance of showers. As we move into the remainder of the week, you will see a mix of cloudy skies and showers, so make sure you bring an umbrella. Heavy showers and a chance of thunderstorms will continue into Thursday as well. The day's high will be 77 degrees and a low of 51 degrees. On Friday, you will see the sun for a change. You can expect to start your weekend off with a high near 78 and a low of 54. And lastly, for your Easter Sunday, you can expect the sun to peek through amidst the light chance of showers throughout the day. Sunday will have a high of 72 and a low of 54. I don't know about you all, but I sure am hoping that April showers really will bring May flowers. That's it for your weather forecast. I'm Ansley Edwards with Grady Newsource.
Coming up, we'll hear about a Georgia quarterback's transfer, the new assistant basketball coach for the Lady Dogs, and the annual football scrimmage game on Saturday.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school.
Jessica has been through a lot in her life from early childhood.
My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She came in looking to complete her diploma. She had a family she had to take care of. Anytime she needed help, we provided her help. She realized that we were here for her.
She wants to have a career so her kids could look up to her.
My graduation, it was something I will never forget. I couldn't explain the emotion I was feeling because people like you and me sometimes may have doubts in yourself, but I feel that everything's possible.
Jessica's future is brighter than ever.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
And now, sports.
I'm Brianna Smith, and this is Grady Newsource Sports. Matthew States is the 2021-2022 SEC Men's Freshman Swimmer of the Year. He is the 21st UGA swimmer in program history to hold the title. He holds school records in the 200 freestyle, 500 freestyle, and 400 freestyle relay. JT Daniels is transferring to West Virginia next year. The former Georgia Bulldogs quarterback lost his starting position to Stetson Bennett due to injury. Daniels played 6 games during the 2021 season. Basketball fans may see a new face on the sidelines next season. UGA named Izokin Uzumare as the new assistant coach for the Lady Dogs. She will join the new head coach, Katie Abramson Henderson, and will work with the post players and assist with recruiting and scouting. The Braves World Series trophy is coming to Athens on Saturday. People can take pictures with the trophy starting at 4 p.m. on Foley Field. But before stopping to pose with the trophy, remember to wear either red or black as the UGA Bulldogs face off against each other for G-Day. The scrimmage match will be held Saturday in Sanford Stadium at 1 p.m. This is all for Grady Newsource Sports. I'm Brianna Smith.
Coming up, learn more about how American Sign Language can increase accessibility for the deaf community.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
We scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. But I need that back. No. Kevin!
You know, a lot of people say, when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
This week is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. There are over 97,000 fire, ambulance, emergency dispatchers in the United States, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. NENA reported that over 240 million calls that they receive to 911 each year, 80% of them are made from each of mobile phone. These communicators provide critical services to the public that help save lives. The Athens in Motion Commission has revised the Complete Streets policy to ensure that the safety and assist users of all ages and abilities. These roadways would differ from those that are only used for cars because they would now be designed to accommodate cyclists, pedestrians, transit riders, wheelchair users, and emergency responders. This policy will require Athens-Clarke County to incorporate complete streets into all transportation projects within the transportation network. The Athens Orthopedic Clinic Twilight Criterium will be held April 29th through the 30th in downtown Athens, Georgia. The race presented by Michelob Ultra will benefit Community Rocks, a local performing and healing arts space. It kicks off with the Women's Pro-Am Criterium at 7 p.m., followed by the Men's Criterium at 8:15 p.m. April is National Deaf History Month, and with that, what better time to learn about American Sign Language, otherwise known as ASL? Grady Newsource reporter Elle Jacobson spoke to an ASL student and teacher within UGA's campus to learn more.
ASL is a visual language and one of the most popular languages worldwide. Yet for those who rely on visual communication, access is extremely limited. By turning on the captions or including visual interpretation within your own communication is a small change that can be done in everyday life to improve access, utilizing the technology that was not always available.
There was lack of communication, there was a ton of access barriers, and people would consider deaf people dumb. So today, people are more like, wow, we have captions, like you're actually really intelligent because accessibility has been provided.
Christian Ivey, a second-year student of Professor Atchin, has seen a major perspective change since beginning his ASL courses.
Sometimes when you get on the elevator, people will say like, oh, what floor are you going to? But like, if someone was to ask that to like my professor, they wouldn't know what to say or they wouldn't hear them. So it's like that person might see it as rude or different things like that.
Beyond a growth in situational awareness, Ivy has seen how important just making an effort is to those who are in the deaf community.
They understand that ASL is like not a common type of language. So whenever someone makes an effort, or you could say I'm taking an ASL class, different stuff like that. Usually they're like very understanding. They're like, oh my gosh, okay. And they'll sign slower.
Even learning how to sign simple terms like hello or help can majorly improve communication access to those in the deaf or hard of hearing communities. This has been Elle Jacobson for Grady Newsource.
I'm Madison Cook, and from all of us here at Grady Newsource, thank you for watching and have a great night.
Grady Newsource is a student production of the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Sailor, are we all okay? Yeah, good.
To you, you guys did such a great job with the live shot, and things went very well. And we had a few things with timing the show, and but this was our sort of last news show. Next week we're doing our solutions show, so that was a good way to end. Of course, again, we had our challenges, which we should always have because we're not learning if we don't. But I'd like to congratulate you and really thank you for everything you've done. And we couldn't do this show without you guys, and that was a strong finish. Of course, we have next week too. But again, there were a few glitches. We want to hear those.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, I think like y'all did a great job, like Madison, with adjusting to the prompter. That the live shot went really well. Like that was great out of there. And then I think the issue with that, and there wasn't necessarily anything that I think y'all need to do differently, but it was just there was a live tag that wasn't in the prompter that we started rolling the prompter while we were speaking and just didn't match up, and so we were off, and so that obviously threw you off, and I think you did a really good job going to the reading. So just next time we'll make sure that we're in the right place, and anticipating that, putting ourselves in a good place to be if there is something that's in the live shot that we're not expecting, that we still pick up at the right place coming out of it. Other than that, I think like packages look good. I think just if we are in a break, like whether that's PSAs or a package, and you do want to like float something or change the order, just like trying to do it at the front end of things, because like that takes a second to get things moved around or get things put back into the TriCaster. But other than that, I think everything looks really good. Like we were enjoying watching the packages in there. I thought they were interesting. The movie theater one got a lot of reactions.
Yes, it did.
To the like playground. So yeah, so I thought y'all did a good job, and y'all have done a great job the whole semester. And we thank y'all for being flexible with us. Obviously, we are bringing new people in here every week, or people who are coming back and are learning, and so we thank you for like being patient with us when we mess up, and for communicating well with us and all that sort of stuff throughout the semester too.
And thank you guys. I can't thank you enough and express all of our admiration for everything you've done without any extra credit for class or anything. And I hope that this has been a good learning experience for you. But again, we have next week as well. So next week is going to be very interesting because we are trying to do things a little bit differently. Guys, do you want to discuss anything with our tech team for next week? Are you thinking of doing a live show on Mondays and Wednesdays, or pre-taping it? They need to know that to plan. Yeah, yeah. We'll just do it live. I was just asking because I want this to be your your ideas and your. So we'll still do it live. I'm a person who likes live stuff. Don't get me wrong. Yes. Yeah. Oh, oh. So well, we practiced. We practiced. So yeah. So that's what we're looking at doing things a little bit differently. So we talked about possibly having a different kind of animation maybe, or we can just kind of start the show with a live tease about different stories, so without rolling the usual animation, because this is a different show. It's still news, but it's thematic. So we don't need to roll the usual animation, but again, the producers, by now they know how to communicate with you so that you know the what's going to be unique about that show. So we'll take a little bit more time, maybe at 4:30, to really. And even earlier, yes. So even at 2 o'clock before you start recording, we could let you know what's different. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you again. So look forward to next week. And yeah. So let's hear from Danielle. Danielle.
Yeah, so everything went well earlier today, and I want to say thank you for everyone getting their packages in on time, and also for like writing lots of VOs and VO SOTs that really helped. Unfortunately, because some of the packages were a little bit longer, we had to, like, while we were doing the show, float a lot of those elements, a lot of those over-the-shoulder shots, and a lot of those VOs. And at one point, we thought that we were heavy, so we floated a lot of stuff, and then we had to move some things back down in E-block. And so that kind of messed things up a little bit, especially those other elements with, like, the over-the-shoulder, because the tech team had to, like, we had to move something from B-block to E-block, and so they had to find that real quick. But other than that, I think everything went smoothly, and yeah, thanks again.
Yeah, I like the packages. All of you, made an extra effort for your first sentence, for your B-roll. There were a few things I don't know. Elle, what happened to your package? It faded to black. Yeah. Yeah. Because it was a soundbite without any audio or video to it. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah. So let's see. I have a few notes here. Again, kudos to our anchor. Please share that experience. You didn't even know the half of it, of what she went through, because she kind of managed to keep reading, you had your scripts, and you quickly pivoted and started reading off your scripts. But share the experience, anything that you want to share with future to-be anchors, so that they learn from your experience as well.
Yeah, so I printed out my script beforehand, and I of course went through, but I apparently didn't go through all the way, because I apparently only printed all through B block, which I didn't know until B block had ended. But thankfully, it got me through that part where it was after the live shot, and the teleprompter had messed up slightly, and that's when I knew to reference the script that was down in my hands, and instead of freaking out and, causing chaos. So I just read off my script. It probably didn't look the prettiest, but I tried to do the best that I could
And you
with
did.
what was given. Thank you.
Mhm.
So that's what I did in the beginning. Whenever it had messed up, I read off my script. I made sure that in between packages or during the breaks that I was keeping the script up to date so that if something like that were to happen again, I could have the script in my hands. That's when things started getting shifted, and the earpiece wasn't working, and I don't think there was too much communication going down on the floor because we were all like, oh, things are kind of disappearing and things are appearing, things like that. So we were just kind of like, going through the flow, trying to do what we could with what was given for sure. And I mean, we got through it, so thank God for that. But yeah, I just kind of went with it, and if you mess up, you mess up. You got to keep on going forward. So that's what I did.
Yes, you just have to keep going. Yes, you have to keep going, and you did. Yeah, yeah, it wasn't the best. The last 3 readers in a row, supposedly we had to have some OTSs, and there was nothing. There were a few that needed to have graphics in them, and they didn't. So it was a little bit boring at the end, but 3 readers in a row. But we sort of timed the show, and it was a good learning experience to figure out ways to time the show when things go wrong and react quickly. And Danielle had a lot of quick reactions, thinking on her feet, which I think will serve you well. All that thinking on your feet that you did. Yeah. So is Amro here? Amro, can you share? Yeah. What happened to those close-ups? They were really blurry. The graphics. Didn't you notice that when you did the donut?
They
we
weren't
couldn't even.
as I was editing. I
Yeah,
guess something was during the exporting.
Yeah, because they were really blurry, and so you didn't notice them when they
Not
looked
during
okay before that?
Yeah, during the editing process, they looked all right.
When the package was ready, did you notice that they were blurry before you
Mm-mm.
exported, or?
No, before I exported, while they were still in Adobe, they were fine. So
Yeah. So
don't
how
know what
was that
happened.
experience? Share something, with the rest of us.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. I think the first time I ever got nervous in front of the camera, though. So I think, I just had to memorize what I had to say, and I didn't want to mess up. That's what I was most focused on. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should now talk about if anybody has a question, let me know. If not, we need to discuss. I see 2 producers really nervous, especially the Monday producer. And it is not okay for you guys to just say, I'm celebrating Easter. That's why I had you pitching those stories beginning ago, drawing your attention to how important this is. Do not leave it in the last moment. And it's on you if you left everything till the last moment, but we do need a good, solid show for Oz on Monday. So Oz, how many people are you short of? How many? So how about Amro? Do you have the mic? Can you give it to Oz? Thank you so much. Finished, of course. Okay.
So will get me a package on Monday. She's one of them. Lauren will get me a package on Monday. Abby will not be here. Who else will not be here? Hallie won't be here. And
Yeah, I have approved
Brianne-
Hallie and Abby, who asked me beforehand. I cannot approve other people to be absent on Monday because we already have 2 people absent. Unless we have enough content, I needed to know ahead of time, Maddie, that you couldn't come on Monday. You wanted to use your absence. I already have 2 people. So I will try to give you Monday off, but we need to just see what we're doing with all the content on Monday.
So I've said it again. I'm going to say it again. We have sent in the broadcast chat a Sojo pitch sheet. I need everybody to fill that out. And on that pitch sheet, it says, which day would you prefer to have your package air? I'm seeing a good mix right now, but we need to have everybody's package up there. And if you have any concerns, any questions, anything, let us know. We want to get a good sense of what the themes of these packages are, because we wanted to kind of make a coherent sense of them. And if we can figure out when these packages would best air versus when they could most thematically air, that can help us with our show too. But we need that filled out so we can get a sense of when people are going to get their packages in, so we can have balanced shows.
Okay, so how about we do this? We go around and everybody let us know where you stand with your package.
I honestly
Ansley,
think having them fill out the pitch sheet is going to be a lot easier than having everybody explain it to us.
They will do that as well, but right now we need to. Ansley, what's the status of your package?
Mine can go on Monday.
You will be here on Monday?
Yes.
And you filled in the pitch?
Yes, ma'am. I said Monday on the
Excellent. Elle, where do you stand? Have you filled in the pitch sheet?
I filled in the pitch sheet.
Good.
I did kind of pivot gears because the story that I had originally talked about, I just didn't want to run into issues with filming because it was more medical related.
You will be here on Monday. You filled in the
Yes.
pitch sheet. And you
I'm in
think you
contact
feel
with
good about your story on Monday?
Yeah.
All right. Next. Who's next? Daniel, darling. How about you?
My package is going to run on Wednesday, but my expert can't talk till Wednesday morning at 10:30.
Okay. And you filled in the shit. Good.
Yeah, I have B-roll and 2 sources. I just need an expert. So I can
Does
do my
Monday
bit.
look
Yes.
goodable? Okay. Have you filled in the pitch sheet? Good. So she's doing that right now. Maddie, what is your status?
So I've filled out the pitch sheet just a little bit. I've been focusing a lot on the anchor stuff today, but I am not going to be able to be with the organization that I'm working with until Tuesday. So it won't be able to air until Wednesday.
Okay. You filled in so you can't count on Maddie on Monday.
This is actually a question for you. So this is a Sojo show. Are we still doing sports and weather segments in the
No,
Sojo show?
no.
We're not. Okay. So basically all of the positions that exist don't really matter.
No, it's all solutions journalism.
It's all solutions. Okay.
You can have a solutions, a sports story, weather-related, climate change, that kind of thing as well. Yes.
Yeah, none of that was
Yeah,
made
nothing
clear.
is relevant. It's just solutions. Yeah.
Okay, so none of that was made clear, so now we have to think about making sure that we have enough content to fill both shows, even with just having the packages. Every single
I
package
said that,
made
but
it
I
in.
should have, I guess, changed the schedule. I didn't think of
Yeah.
changing the. We can, yes, we
so
can.
we can include
yeah.
readers and VOs.
Of course.
Okay.
So that's what I try to communicate, that these are totally solutions shows. And I didn't think of changing the schedule because I thought that was clear that they are solutions. I will change the schedule, everybody's a TV MMJ, everybody's writing, you guys are producing. That's what, it's as simple as that. Yes, an anchor still, yes, you will be anchoring, and if, we might need 2 anchors right on Wednesday because Delaney is toying with the idea.
I was playing with.
Oh, you were, oh yes, so you might have a co-anchor. On, you're doing Monday? Yes, everybody, even if you're an anchor, everybody has to have a package. I made that abundantly clear. Even
Yes.
Oz and Delaney, I've told them they have to have packages.
So the other thing that people were confused about, and I just want to clear this up now.
Yes,
people
please,
who
let's
are
clear
MMJs
everything.
on both days do not need 2 different Sojo packages. They
No,
just need one.
One, yes.
So they get to essentially choose which day works better for them.
You choose which day works better for
Okay.
you. Everybody should have
I'm
had
seeing a lot
their
of
work
Wednesday.
ready. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions, guys? Please, I need to answer all your questions.
So if you are not, this is more a statement than a question. If you are turning your package in on Wednesday, which I see everybody has a preferred day, your preferred day may not be the day that it does air, to be clear. This is just, I want to get a sense of when people think it's going to happen. So if you, or if you are previously excused or whatever, put that in the comments, the additional comments box. But
yes, the reason.
Oh, if you don't have your package, so Monday, if you are supposed to be doing it on Wednesday, if you have your package done on Monday and you already turn in, I will be expecting you and Oz will be expecting you to create readers and VOSATs for us that we will start coming up with ideas for, but you also keep an eye out for Sojo-themed things within your counties, within every single county, so that we can start doing additional components because we will not have enough content with just packages
Yes, all of you need to think of one idea, Sojo-related idea from your county to contribute if we need you to write a reader, a VO. The reason why I wanted you guys to have all your stories ready, and it's just one story for next week, is that we want to see how the two shows will look. They're thematic shows on solutions journalism. However, both your producers need to see what are the themes that belong in their show. We sort of need to group the stories together. That's why we needed them ready by Monday, so that the two of them would see what's the theme going through. You know, how many education stories do we have? How many? Food and
I
security.
wanted a food and
so
security show.
yeah. So basically, one of the producers might say, "Oh my goodness, we have all these food and security stories. So let's make Wednesday a food and security themed show because we have so many." And Oz will say, "Okay, I want my dual anchor thing, and I want to focus on the education plus something else that belongs in my show." That is the reason why I wanted you guys to be ready. That's why we started 3 weeks ago. I wanted you guys to be ready so that the two producers have a choice as to how they're going to structure their shows and what are the themes that they are going to focus on. Does that make sense? So that is why it's so important for, Matthew. Yeah, everybody's here the whole day. Yes, it's a normal day, 9 hour. It's not a day off. Yes. You will turn it in on Monday morning and I will look at it. Yes, yes. Or you can, I have other scripts from my other show that I will be editing. That's on my docket. So you guys, as early as possible on Monday, you will turn in your scripts. Yeah. Yes. Yes. There's no Wednesday person. If we can stretch it to Wednesday, we will. But they need to have the pick of the crop on Monday. Does that make sense? So Delaney, Oz will do the Monday rundown, right? And we will prioritize the scripts that you will want in your Monday show. So if Ansley's script is running in your show, I will prioritize approving her script on Monday. If you say, Ansley, you know what? Delaney wants your story because it belongs with her theme, then we will prioritize somebody else's content over yours, and I still will look at yours on Monday. But I will give priority to the scripts before that. Does that make sense? Oh. So, does that make sense?
So I have a question. So whoever story we choose to prepare that day, how will they have time to not only get the script approved, edit, and then get us a video or a post on top of that?
Okay, yeah, good question. The people whose stories will remain for Wednesday, they will be the ones who will write for you. We'll just have to figure it out, guys. It hasn't been done before, so we'll just figure it out, right? I told you it was an experiment, and I'm counting on you, the two of you, to be my right hand and my other right hand in this, because I want this to be something that you innovate and something that we all develop together. But I admitted to you guys, I've never done it before. I want to try it out. because I believe in this kind of journalism. Because I'm going to 2 conferences, I want to give you a bigger exposure as journalists, student journalists. So I don't have all the answers. I'm hoping that we will all come up with the answers.
Once we have everybody's pitches, I would like Oz and I to decide ahead of time what pitches we want for what shows.
Exactly.
That way, it is not a day of decision, and people can know whether or not we are going to expect them to record VOs, VOSOTs, and write readers. Because I don't want people going in thinking that they're doing one thing and then having to find out that they have to turn the package on Monday instead of Wednesday like they thought before. So we're going to decide that in advance, right, Oz? Given that, once again, everybody fills out the pitch sheet, please. And then we will get back to you guys and tell you ahead of time what day we expect to turn the package.
You guys will send it to me on Friday if you want. Yes. I have a meeting early in the morning. I have a meeting at 3:30 as well. I don't know how long that meeting will last. So if you can send me whatever you have before 3, let's say around 3 o'clock the latest, because I have that meeting.
I will see what I can do.
Yeah.
Friday
Or
is very busy.
send it
so.
to me. Like I'm thinking that meeting won't go more than an hour. So 4:30, again, I will have some time. But I have several meetings during the day that I have to focus my attention on. So
yeah. So we will.
yeah, yeah. But again, I need to do it together with you. I am. This is all of us are making this up as we go, and that's exciting and challenging, but it's exciting. Yeah.
So we're still missing some people. So we'll just have those people fill them out if they're not here. Yeah.
And even tomorrow, I have another class, but I can get tomorrow if you have questions also. And I have some meetings tomorrow as well. Yes. So, but anything, I will find time to.
So the people who haven't entered anything in, it's a mix of people who are and are not present right now. We've got Cole, Abby, Melissa, Adrian, Amro, and then me, which I'm gonna do when I'm done talking. Yeah. And if you have put next to your day, like kind of where you're at on your package too, just so that I can understand and Oz can understand what's going on there. And that'll be for us to look at. But yes, Angry on Monday. Yeah.
So it's like a regular. I'm looking at it like a regular news day, right? We will just we'll decide on the content. We'll have the rundown. The people who will be creating packages for your show I'll edit their stuff, and the rest of the people will write VOs, VOSOTs, whatever. They'll come up with ideas, right? That's what you will pitch also. In addition to your Sojo story and the Monday pitch sheet. Well, you've got the pitch sheet, so everybody should add, in addition to the Sojo package idea, they could all.
We might create like a second page in this sheet so that people can, so that once we assign out who's doing what, then we'll have spots for people who need to create additional content.
Excellent. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some
So
ideas.
again, the workload will be the same, right? As a regular news day, I will edit the packages for the day plus the VOSOTs, readers, whatever, for the Monday show. And on Wednesday, I'll do the same for the Wednesday show.
Yes.
And you have the luxury of really creating your rundowns ahead of time.
True.
You have the luxury of just working on one package for that week, plus a secondary idea. So it's going to be, in a way, an easier week because you've had extra time to work on just one package for next week.
Not for us.
The only thing, and you're working on the show as well, yes. So the only thing that's different is that we have more time, and we've had more time to think about these things beforehand. So I don't see it as something more complicated. In fact, you have more time to think about it because it's a different kind of approach. And I would very much like to have more creative opens, which sort of produce that this is a different kind of show, and it's about solutions and what theme, if it's whatever theme you use. If you want to do 2 anchors, choose another anchor to be with Taylor. Who would that be? Or